That's true. Knows about the grind. Yeah, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. $1:00 Tuesday afternoon. Welcome to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. We're coming to you live from the William Huff Studios. It's one day away from the chaos. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Oilers, Panthers, 6 o'clock tomorrow. EST will be all over it as usual. Media day going down there at Rogers Place. Looks like a fun time. Drove by there today and all the media was in line.
Oh,
I saw Chris Johnson, I saw Speck, I saw Stephen Wino, I saw Mark Masters, I saw Andrew Peard.
Oh, okay.
They're all in line to get their accreditation.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you go get yours?
I didn't get one because I can't go, right? Like, because I'm here for pre and post, so it's all good. It's all good. Looks like a good time. We will hear from Stan, the man, Bowman. I shouldn't call him that, just Stan Bowman. And... Stan Bowman and Chris Knobloch, they hit the podium together. So we'll hear from them. And probably the second segment, Heat and Smoke at 1:40 as Kubusch test our trivia knowledge. And I have an inkling that's going to be Stanley Cup related. Look at Coop. Look at Coop panic.
Did you win at
nope.
Popeyes? You won, right? Didn't we do Heat and Smoke and Popeyes?
Yeah, week? I won. I'm on a one-game.
I asked if it was at Popeyes or not if you won or not. Jesus.
Yeah, that was fun. And at 2:20, we're going to shift gears. We're going to head to the CFL week 1 because after tomorrow, we'll probably get a lot of angry people if we talk CFL. So we're going to do it today with Justin Dunk from 3 Down Nation. We'll get a preview of the league.
Nice.
Reed invited me into his CFL league, I guess it is.
Circle of Trust?
Yeah. So I'm kind of excited.
Oh, you're in a fantasy league.
It's not fantasy, like you bet, like you don't bet, but you pick like the winners of each game in each week. And you get points for it. And so you get 10 points, 4 games. And I have to distribute those 10 points on who I think is going to, so I pick the winner. Say I pick Elks over BC and I'll put a 5 beside it because I'm confident they're going to win. And if they win, I get 5 points.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I know he sent you. Everybody got an invite.
Oh,
check your emails, bro.
I better check the email.
When's the last time you checked your email?
Last week.
Oh, okay. Like your EST?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, I get so many emails, and I hate the platform.
Yeah, our EST one.
Yeah, Maddie's got to change that.
Yeah. Max Mizuzu, Stan, just Stan Bowman. Yeah. 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 So. What was I talking about? I can't even remember what I was talking about. I'm losing my mind here, guys.
No, you're not.
Hey, that wind again, eh? That's 9 straight days. I'm getting really tired of it, man.
I bet.
I will not spend my old days here in Edmonton. I can't deal with this weather. At best, we get 3 weeks, maybe, of good weather. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, can we just have a nice day with no rain?
For like 3 days.
No, we didn't.
Last week?
Well, one maybe.
30.
But it was windy as hell, Coop. You couldn't even sit on a patio.
It's a nice breeze.
No.
Well, not all of us go drinking in the afternoon.
I'm tired of it. I just want a nice day with no wind and no rain. Is that too much to ask for?
Yeah.
Well, then the snow will come.
Like, I'm tired of it, man. Sick of it.
It's the fires.
That too. Man, every summer, eh? The smoke. Like,
yeah, gross.
It's crazy.
You're not in a good mood.
A little cranky today. I don't know why.
You're really cranky today. Oh my gosh.
I'm not cranky. I'm just, some things bug me at my old age. Wind being one.
Sure.
Inside the numbers at 2. Did I say who was coming on the show? Justin Dunk from 3 Down Nation at 2:20. Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Hard to light those cigarettes when it's windy. That's a good point. Very hard. Very, very hard. Only 9 thumbs up, 6 minutes in. Need to get to 100, eh? At least.
Oh, yeah, we'll get there.
Like we're on the eve, I'm going to call it, of the Stanley Cup Finals. The Oilers. Are we doing predictions today?
Yeah, we will. I just want to say, isn't that crazy? 500 episodes of Two Guys today?
Yeah, I saw that, man.
That's crazy. You were part of it too.
Oh, 100%. I was probably part of the first 200.
Yeah.
Maybe not that many.
No, I bet you were. Yeah, because my goal back then was to try to make you laugh. That's all I tried to do. Because you were behind.
I was off camera.
And then I'd try to say something funny. I knew it was okay if I made you laugh.
Yeah, there's a lot of good memories, man, where we started, where we went during COVID. Remember we had Guy Carbonell, Grant Fuhr on
Yeah.
During COVID?
Bucky came in.
Because no one had anything to do.
Nothing,
so everybody would just join us.
That was great. Mac T came in.
Mac T came in. We had Dinger.
Dinger was there.
Chimera.
Chimmer?
Chimmer. Dinger and Chimmer. Mac T. Who else did we have?
We had Furzy, Carbonneau. Frank Cervalli we had.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Because I made fun of his hair. Never came back.
Tough guy, Frank Cervalli. That's my nickname for him.
Oh, really?
Because he always looks like he wants to fight someone or he's angry.
He does look a little angry.
Yeah.
Not as angry as you did this morning, but
he's like 30 something.
yeah, he's like
seriously.
20, I know he's like 26.
Yeah, tough guy. If I ever met him, I'm gonna be like, so you're a tough guy. Well, he is from Philly, so
yeah,
I wouldn't mess with Philly guys. Yeah, it's gonna be so the big game this week, Gager.
Which one?
Elks Lions.
I know, huge game.
Oh, I'm kidding. Oh, look at everybody like talk about the game.
No, it's funny because I think the boys on the morning show, and I think even I heard on the hangout, the city is kind of like it's like a scene from an old western. I feel like you should see tumbleweeds going through like with this wind.
Yeah, it's like
it's right before the shootout at the OK Corral.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, it's very like subdued.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird eerie feeling.
Yeah. Maybe it's the weather.
It's like no one wants to talk about it.
No, no one does. So it'll be great. Tomorrow's
gonna be wild.
Will be out.
Are you gonna come watch the game with me?
I could.
I don't want to watch the game by myself. It's a Stanley Cup Final, man.
I probably should, huh? Maybe I will. Now that you ask,
I need to hug someone when they score.
You like me.
If anyone wants to come on and hang out with Hernan tomorrow for the game, more than welcome.
You'll be getting lots of hugs to say that. People are.
It's always sunny there in Philadelphia. And a lot of fights on the basketball courts.
So Florida got in yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Getting prepared.
A lot of media.
Media today. And then, man, I can't. I'm looking forward to it, man. This is.
I guess the media is staying here, eh? Right across the street.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Poor bastards.
Should we just hang out there and say, hey, you want to join our show? Do you want to join our show?
We could. Like, how that we don't have a bunch of them in the hangout, it would be nuts, right?
Yeah. Who would you want to get?
Who would I? I'd like to get I'd like to get someone from like Sweden or something too, right?
Sweden?
Yeah, like from the Aftonbladet or the Zeitung in Germany, like the German paper, whatever, something different, right? I like to see people from other markets come in and talk too, like what they see. I was thinking, I was asking Reed too about this. Like, so a lot of times you see GMs, like you'll see everyone's here. All the big dogs will come in for this and GMs watching. And then they kind of start, whoever wins, they kind of take that mold and try to put that stamp on their team, I find. It's a little bit like Lemmings, GMs, a little bit. But I'd love to get into the mind of a GM and talk to them and go, okay, so after seeing this final with these two teams, how do you construct your team to be successful against one of these two teams?
Yeah, but I find GMs don't ever give you any. It's like, they'll give you generic and cliches and generic answers.
Well, we'll find out what Stan gives us.
So we'll send Kub out there tomorrow morning. Kub, are you cool? We'll buy breakfast for you. You just get in there in the breakfast in the cafeteria room in the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like one of those guys who I think there's a dude on YouTube who actually wanted to try and sneak into every venue. And I know this is just a hotel, but he tried to sneak into every single arena.
He did
NHL,
here.
and somehow he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow, I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. I'm not condoning anything. I'm just joking. I'm not going to go about and do that. That would be wrong. But it would be interesting.
What he did though was the amount of money that he would have spent at the game. He went to the store and purchased like socks and trail mix and things, and he went around to homeless people and gave them all that stuff. Like he packed like 2 backpacks full of things.
At the Elks game on Friday, I got the full pat down.
Did you?
Oh yeah, guy was intense.
Really?
Jeez,
Did he check the inseam at all? No.
I was like, all I got is my wallet and my darts, bro.
Really? Full pat down?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Selected out of the group.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Don't like that. They don't like their Chileans in there.
No love for the Chileans. It was interesting, but yeah.
Me, I put myself up against the wall. No one wanted to pat me down.
I was like, bro, I used to work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you have your pass?
No, I went with tickets that day.
Oh.
Yeah.
my daughter saw my pass in the car, my Elks pass. She was like, "Why do you have one of these?"
Yeah.
And I go, "I'm important." She goes, "No, you're not." And then I threw her out of the car.
EST should probably pat you down as well from Big U. Why?
No. The only weapons Hernan has are these. That's all he needs.
It's just my fist,
Yeah.
my lighter.
My lighter.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. But media days they're cool. Like I like that the NHL's kind of going in that NFL mode.
Yeah, it's neat.
And it's here in Edmonton, which is kind of cool.
Because look, and I think I forget which media member was telling me this, but he says it's hard because the producers of the show, they just want certain players all the time, right? Because those ones get the most traction, I think.
And those guys hate it doing the media the most.
Yeah, because they do it all the time.
Yeah.
I think these are great because you actually get a glimpse into some of the personalities of these guys that maybe you don't hear from a lot, right? Like it sounds like Connor Brown's when he gets out of the, give it 110%, get it deep and work hard. There's something to there, right?
Yeah.
It would be nice to hear views from different guys, even if they only played 7 minutes a game. I think I would just like to hear from more players. I think.
Yeah. Who would you, if you were down there and you got to select any player on the Edmonton Oilers, who would you pick?
On the Oilers?
On the Oilers.
I believe. I think that's a good question. I think it would be Corey Perry.
He's with his kid at the podium.
Cool. Awesome. Soak it all in. And I know he's had a lot of success and stuff. And I don't know what it is about me personally, but I usually like to see dynasties or teams that have won it before. I like to see success again. In this case, of course, I think it would be a lot more fun if the Oilers won. But just looking at Corey Perry, what's this, his 6th final that he's been to? Won once? I think it's about time he gets to hoist.
He'll win it twice. No
and I don't know why. I just seeing the, it's so sad to see guys when they lose, right? It's tough. And I don't know why. I would like to see Corey Perry win another cup. He's been a great player for a long time.
I'd pick Vasily Podkolzin.
Oh yeah?
Russian dudes are interesting. I like to get to know him.
He's kind of he has some good things to say.
Yeah,
too.
that's why. That's like, hey man, like guys at EST have been talking smack about you this whole time. That you don't belong in the top 6. But he's like, I'll be honest, when they signed Vasily Podkolzin, I had no expectations. He plays a hell of a game. He's not a point producer. He never will be, okay? He's not a top 6 guy, but the way he plays in the bottom 6, the way he can kind of moonlight in the top 6 if you need, his physicality, how strong he is, defensively he's great. Like I'm looking at it and saying, like, where did you come from? Do you know what I mean? Because in Vancouver, you couldn't get
the lineup.
Any traction, right?
Wasn't so weird too.
No.
Like, just talk about a player that was not used properly. And I do believe it was the first rounder label. It didn't help that what did he score? 16 goals his first year too. So that probably didn't help because it was expected again. But man, this guy has just
it's unreal.
Yeah, it's so, like, if you're Rick Tocchet and you're probably watching this and you're looking at what Podkolzin is doing, are you saying, shoot, I messed up with that one?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You're seeing Vancouver media saying, look at Podkolzin, man. And so that's why I would pick him. I just think he's a fascinating story because played a lot with Draisaitl. I was driving me and Tommy crazy. But he's a guy that we always said he shouldn't be out of the lineup. So you just blame
Tommy on that?
No, I said Tommy and I.
Okay. No, I mean, if you talk to him, you'd say Tommy has been talking trash.
See that guy over there with the good hair and the short shorts?
What would you ask him? What would be your question? Or what would be the kind of...
Well, first I'd be like, his Stanley Cup Finals, then I'd ask about his family. Are they coming down? Or do you know what I mean? Are they here? Blah, blah, blah. And then I'd ask about his time in Vancouver, what went wrong. And I'd be like, your role here, you kind of play with Leon and all that. Like, I'd be all over the place.
Yeah. I'd love to get like a good idea of his progression from the start of the year, how he looked at it. Because remember when he got here, he was first guy on, last guy off. And I mean, he still is. But just how coming to a new team, getting that second chance, and really dog on a bone. Like there's always certain moments where guys really establish themselves. I think in teams, ingrain themselves in there. I think that one game in, it was at Nashville where he made he made 2 good plays where he won the puck on the wall, got it to Leon, and he knocked out that other guy.
Yeah.
Like that was when he was like, okay, he's in the lineup every game from now on.
I just saw a text. It said, I'm surprised Pods was not a Tocchet guy. It's true, though. That's from Penner's Pancakes. He's exactly like the way Tocchet likes his players, right?
Yeah.
Like it was very interesting for that. And then C-Run says Vancouver had a chance at Matt Boldy, too, at number 10 pick. But I always look at the draft, and I'm sorry, but man. You don't know. If we all knew, trust me.
Look, the episode that we had, if you want to go back when we had Mac T at Little Brick, we asked him, because we were talking about Leon, and I said, did you know he was going to be this good? And I believe verbatim, Mac T said, I had no idea. It's a swing.
When Leon was drafted, he wasn't supposed to be this good. You don't know.
He was supposed to be a playmaker, too. Like, not that he isn't, but the guy scores 50 consistently. Who would you
interview, Koob?
Who would you like to interview?
An interview, I guess, in a public setting where everyone hears the answers.
No.
Where you get to just chat with the guy. Corey Perry is really an easy pick for the Oilers. Like, he's got such a long career, and he said during his presser today that he intends to play for next season. I don't know why that was mentioned. I mean, he's focusing on the Stanley Cup this year, but to speak with him would be fantastic, just to hear some of the stories of, losing 4 straight times in the Stanley Cup, which is hard, and then the high of it, winning when he was younger in his career. Matthias Ekholm would also be interesting. And just to get a look into the mindset of Stuart Skinner. I think he's such an interesting dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's so honest, and he's quite humble as well. And he shakes things off quite well. Like, he seems like an easy-go-lucky kind of water just flows off his back anytime there's stress. And just to see how he has that mindset at such a young age, like, he is still such a young goaltender, still building to his full potential. So to have a chat with him would be really nice. Would you touch the Vikings beard? I wouldn't ask to do that, no. I respect the man too much.
He could probably sell that, eh?
Probably.
His beard clippings?
Yeah, clippings.
How much would that run for, you think?
Depends on the buyer.
All goes to charity, though. All the money.
Hey, did you know that Play Alberta presenting Edmonton Sports Talk? Play Alberta is your home for online gaming excitement, featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery instants, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca.
I did know that.
If you want, deposit $20 or more to get a $50 casino bonus using promo code EST Casino. And the same goes for free sports betting. All you got to do is use EST Sports all the way up to June 30th. Let's go. Play Alberta. All right. Hit up the nasty chat. Slam that thumbs up as we're getting closer and closer to game one. Hit us up on the River Korean box, 780-218-9999. If you're listening, it's iHeart, TuneIn, radio apps, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Just slide on over and slam that thumbs up for us. Coming up next, we will hear from Stan Bowman and Chris Nobla. We'll run about 3-4 minutes. It's 14 minutes. We're not going to do a whole segment on it. And then we'll continue to tee up game one between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. We'll look at kind of the coaches here. Two different demeanors by each guy. It's interesting what Knobloch's been able to do in his short time as the Edmonton Oilers head coach. Paul Maurice has been around, I think he was like 30 when he took the Hartford job.
I think it was 32.
Yeah, which is crazy. So we'll get into that as well. Heat and Smoke at 140 inside the numbers in the second hour, along with Justin Dunk, 3 Down Nation, as we'll tee up week one in the CFL. We want to hear from you, so text us, hit us up on the Nasty Chat. And right now, here's our guy, Koob, with your sports update.
Connor McDavid and the Oilers return to practice this morning. McDavid is ready for game one tomorrow, while Connor Brown is a game-time decision due to illness. And 40-year-old Corey Perry mentioned during his presser that he intends to keep playing next season. In Philly, Noah Cates has been inked to a 4x4 deal worth a total of $16 million. The 26-year-old recorded 37 points in 78 games for the Flyers last season. And overseas in Russia, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, former Red Wing Slava Kozlov has been named the head coach of Sochi in the KHL. Elsewhere in the PWHL, they've announced their protected players list for the upcoming expansion draft. Key players left unprotected include Sarah Nurse of the Scepters and Boston's Hillary Knight. And after losing in the East Final to the Pacers in 6 games, the Knicks have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau after he spent the last 5 years behind the New York bench. And for the Blue Jays, they have their series opener against the Phillies. Bowden Francis gets the ball for Toronto. Christopher Sanchez takes him out for Philadelphia. First pitch goes at 5:07. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution. Every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. More discussion surrounding the Oilers Media Day follows up after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to the Banquet and dive into Banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
.126 EST Afternoons live from the William Huff Studios. We're a day away from Game 1. What are your plans? Are you going out? Are you watching at home, having people over? Are you one of those that need to watch it alone because you go crazy? Are you going to the game? How about that? Watch party. So the last Oiler game, Gager. At the Joey Moss pit, I saw a kid there get slapped because he wanted to, and he was knocked out.
Oh, you saw that in live?
Someone posted it from the Moss pit.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
I was like, "What do we do? What are we doing, people?"
Yeah, and no one there to catch him. He just went straight back. Wasn't it a girl that hit him too?
I think
it was.
It was a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Slapped out cold.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was.
I fear for the youth.
Well, at least it's not a fight,
Sure,
whatever. If you're gonna do that, you ever watch those Russian slap competitions? Or whatever?
Man, they're crazy.
Are you kidding me?
They're crazy, bro.
You couldn't pay me enough to. Well, you could, but I wouldn't like it.
It's crazy, man. I was gonna say you're talking about Corey Perry.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, he's a Leaf next year.
What?
Yeah. The Leafs see the mojo he brings.
I mean, if the Leafs...
Yeah, if they're smart, why not?
If they're smart, you throw a couple mil at him to go play in Toronto. He's from there.
Yeah.
Why not? I could see it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Because you bring him in the same way the Oilers re-sign him. Yeah, he'll play, maybe 35, 40 games. No, he just gets in there.
On July 1st, everybody's like, why are they signing Corey Perry again?
And what will he do most? Bring guys into the fight, because he won't allow it. He won't allow. He doesn't care if Austin Matthews or if Mitch Marner's there, if they're upset. He's gonna get in their face. Not kind of like when he showed his with Kane that one time, right?
Soggy Corp says the Leafs aren't smart enough to do that. That's a good point.
I mean, if I'm whoever or Tree Living, I am as soon as this series is up, I am. Well, you're probably doing it before, but you're contacting Corey Perry, and hey, you want to come home and win? Try to win one at home, become a legend forever. Do you want to live forever?
Yeah, because if the Oilers win, it's like, yeah, thanks, Corey, you're awesome, but we're moving on. You can see something like that.
I could see it.
Faux show.
And Marchand.
Yeah. It's interesting because every Stanley Cup team always has one old guy. That's like last year was Okposo, right?
Yeah, but he didn't play.
Yeah, he played in. He got in a few games in the final.
A little bit. It wasn't impactful like the two players we're talking about.
Tarasenko.
Well, he's not that old.
He's not that old. Where did he play this? Minnesota?
Detroit?
Red Wings.
So it's interesting because both teams have one, and Brad Marchand and Corey Perry.
Yeah. Two old guards. Won it before. Team Canada experience.
Yeah.
Be
interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's hear from the GM and the coach. We'll run about 3-4 minutes, and we'll get some thoughts from them, and then we want to hear from you as well. River Korean Box 780-218-9999. Slam the thumbs up and hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Here's Stan Bowman and Chris Knobloch at Media Day earlier today.
Chris became the first coach since your father to have gone to the Stanley Cup Final in his first 2 years as a head coach. Now, he never talks about his part of the team getting here, but just a thought on what you've observed and, you know, the part that Chris has played in, you know, the Oilers rebounding in the series against LA and then continuing on their journey to get here.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. You know, I was watching from afar last year, and I was impressed with Chris, just his knowledge of the game and the way he explained things. And then I got a chance to meet him when I got here, and I've been incredibly impressed with his job as the coach. I don't think he gets enough recognition for the way that he's managed this group through this season. It's been a challenging year at times with injuries, and Chris has been able to manage that group and keep things on track all year long. I think he's done a great job. I'm really impressed with the way that he handles our players as well as makes adjustments. You know, I think we see the game the same way, and when we have conversations about our team, I would say most of the time we're aligned in that, and certainly that makes it easier. But you don't always agree on everything, but I think, you know, he's a really smart guy. So when we talk things through, he always comes up with a game plan to prepare our team. So I think we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the job that Chris and the whole staff has done. They've done a tremendous job this year. I've really enjoyed working with them, and can't wait to keep it going.
Left side, second row, Jason.
Chris, the second year, is it that much easier for you? You sit up here, you were here exactly almost a year ago. How much more confident are you and maybe more in control of the situation than you were the first time?
I don't know how much is different from last year, just the fact that we're more familiar with it. We know the routine, we know the opponent. There's a lot of unknowns last year. Now that we've been here, we're just a little more, I don't know what I would say, comfortable, but we just know what the routine is. Do we feel we're a bit stronger, a little more confident? Yeah, maybe, but we also know the other team's probably stronger than they were last year also. So, you know, we're going to have to play our best to give ourselves an opportunity. But as for getting prepared, I think it's just more, we're just more familiar of what like today is and what the travel's like and what it's going to be like going back and forth. That's about it.
Right side, front row, Marty.
Hi, Chris. I'm just wondering, you know, the Panthers play such a in-your-face, intimidating game. How do you counter that?
Well, we've got our share of players that like that physicality too. Certainly don't think we're shy from that play. Even last year, I think our team's a little bit made up a little bit different than it was last year. But probably the best way to counter that is just moving the puck well. You know, the longer you hold on to it, the more time they get to get in and finish their checks. So I think it's important that we're moving it quickly, but also precisely. And, you know, if you're just sloppy with the puck, then you're probably chasing the game for most of it. So, you know.
That was a bit of Stan Bowman and Chris Knobloch there. Knobber sounds sick.
He's fine.
No,
sounds like Kuba when he's.
Yeah.
Fine, guys.
Sound like you yesterday.
Yeah. So.
And he's fine. Wow.
I hope he's fine because Connor Brown missed practice today because he's sick. He's expected to play tomorrow. Connor McDavid returned to practice. If he missed it, he was flying out there, so no worries there.
I always found that if I was a little under the weather, I played a little better.
That's true. I mean, it's go time. I mean,
what are you gonna do? Whether
you're sick or not, you're gonna have to show up and play. So let's go. Let's see what happens. Bowman giving praise to Chris Knobloch. Chris Knobloch, you know, it's crazy. Back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals in his first two seasons. And just the demeanors of the two coaches. Like, Knobloch's like the most probably chill coach in the NHL. I've probably never seen him raise his voice. He's very tempered when it comes to media. Doesn't really throw anyone under the bus. Calm, cool, collected. Kind of like his team. And then you have Paul Maurice, who, you know, says some interesting things that I think he's entertaining for sure.
Oh, yeah, I like what he says.
Yeah, but he's completely different than Chris Knoblauch. Like, you see him on the bench when things aren't going well. Like, he rips into his players.
Oh, yeah, there's expletives flying.
I don't know if Knoblauch does that. Maybe he does it in
swears.
a different... Yeah, but I don't... they're just different, right? Different personalities. It's going to be interesting, man, because, like, sometimes we get frustrated with Knoblauch because he's so calm, but I think it's a reflection of his team, too.
It's weird Stoff would ask that question, because didn't he hire Knoblauch?
Okay, so I'll ask you this. When all that went down and you heard Chris Knoblauch was going to be the new head coach of the Oilers, what were your first thoughts, if you can remember?
Okay, so that was JJ had taken over, right? Jeff Jackson?
Yes.
He was already GM. He's looking at it. And I think what we were talking about, because he was kind of, it looked like he was taking over as GM, kind of, or the tandem, and it just seemed like he wanted to get his guy in there. And if memory serves correctly, the biggest thing him coming to the Edmonton Oilers was he was obviously Connor McDavid's agent. There was talk. I think Leon had just signed, and then there was rumblings about Connor or whatever. So they get his.
That he hired Knoblauch.
Yeah, all that stuff. And then who do they get? They go and get Connor's junior coach. And so it's just they're laying the groundwork to make sure McDavid remains an Oiler for the rest of his career. I think that. But saying that, because you were saying just the other day, seeing some of the coaches or managers hired, just the recycling.
Yeah.
Hartikainen just getting as a advisor or whatever. Like that's
who had no success.
None.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm not saying he's bad, but you had no success and you're getting
talk it.
Same thing.
Talking at what? One good year in Vancouver?
One good year where everything went right for that team.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, on the back of great goaltending again.
Yeah.
But I just don't, and I liked the fact that they hired a guy that really, they said it was on no one's radar. Had 2 games of experience. I think he went up and coached for Philly, I believe, for an illness, and in New York he was with, I think it's Hartford or Bennington, whatever, their minor league system. And a guy that just, a little bit younger, has dealt with younger players, maybe has a little bit more of the ability to read them, instead of the old guard. I liked it. And this guy's been in the league 2 years, and he's been to the finals both years. So good hire.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard the name, I was like, "Oh, like we're reaching here." Because again, like Chris Knoblauch wasn't on anyone's radar except for Stoff's.
He was, yeah.
Like by all reports. So when I saw it, and I'm like, "Hey, he was with Hartford," and then that whole, because everybody brought it up. Oh, Connor's bringing now his agent to be.
And
now he's bringing, and Connor McDavid had nothing to do with it. Was he advised? Maybe, hey, we're making this move. This is who we're bringing in.
Of course, he was asked.
He was probably like, okay, but I don't think they were gonna. They asked him for permission. To be honest, I don't think that's how pro teams work. So I was like, I didn't really know of him. Like I knew he was coaching in the A, but I didn't know what kind of coach, what would he bring to the team, and all that. So I got to say, I'm pleasantly surprised how good he's turned out, and his demeanor and the way he coaches. His adjustments have been fantastic in both playoff runs. So good on them. And I was just being honest. Like I didn't know what to expect when they hired him.
And you got to give a little bit of credit to Stan Bowman too. Like I was raking these both Jackson and Bowman over the coals for their mishandling of what looked like what they did this summer with certain players and the guys that they brought in. But you know what? How can you, like, the guys that they've brought in have been huge pieces to this puzzle. Klingberg, Kapanen, Podkolzin. I mean, he was earlier, but I mean, it's what they've done. Wallman
might be the steal right now. It's funny because since Game 4 of the LA series, no one's brought up Holloway or Broberg.
I know. I was thinking about that on the dog walk today.
Seriously.
Yeah, I know.
When's the last time someone threw something? Hey, well, they really screwed that up.
Because I think I heard someone talking about Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
And when he got traded, everyone was complaining. And then that next season, no one complained because of the play of Larson, right? Until the next year, and he won a Hart, then everyone started complaining about the trade again. But
nobody cares anymore, and that's a good thing. Like you said, like some of their picks of signings and trades have really worked out. Joaquin, hell, look at Jeff Skinner, point per game in the playoffs.
He scores one of the biggest goals of the season in the conference final.
Kasperi Kapanen, he thanks you on the nasty chat. He says, "Thanks again for your kind words." So yeah, we got to give him credit. Listen, I know we love to be negative and hate on everything the Oilers do, but we got to give them credit. Everything's working out, and they're 4 wins away from sticking it to everyone that doubted them. Right?
Yeah.
And Edmonton Oilers could be champions, and it'd be wonderful. And that sign should return the city of champions.
Elks got to win.
Yeah, they will. I believe. Hey, the afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Happy hour. 525 drinks, Gager.
Where?
Sunday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Holy smokes.
Half price at 9 a.m. Count me in.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Up next, we have some fun. Hernan, fresh off a win last week. It's time for some heat and smoke. Who will bring the heat? Who will go up and smoke? Kub, with his trivia, is up next. And here he is with your sports update.
Oilers Media Day underway. Connor McDavid good to go for Game 1 tomorrow. However, Connor Brown is sick and is a game-time decision. Plus, Corey Perry spoke saying that he fully intends on playing next season. And out east, the Flyers have re-upped 26-year-old Noah Cates on a 4-year deal with $4 million per season. He potted 16 goals for 37 points through 78 games last season. In the KHL, Slava Kozlov, 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Red Wings, is joining Sochi to become their head coach. And ahead of next week's expansion draft, the PWHL unveiled their protection list. Key players left unprotected included Hillary Knight of the Fleet and Toronto's Sarah Nurse. NBA news sees New York firing head coach Tom Thibodeau after 5 seasons, with the Knicks falling to the Pacers in 6 games during the East Final last week. MLB action sees Toronto hosting Philly for their series opener. First pitch is just after 5. Bowden Francis starts for the Jays. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. Heat and Smoke Trivia is up next.
The EST Hangout.
I'll say from a men's room experience, we do line up pretty good, and the moment you see one open, you go. And whether it's a urinal, and even if it's you only have to go number 1, and you see the toilet open, you go there. You go, that one's open, I'm gone. Yeah, Big U, the only thing we do efficiently. Yeah, man. We go in and out quickly. Like we're in there for business, and we don't waste time.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Experience the iconic music of Dire Straits with DSL. Dire Straits Legacy, June 12th in the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Featuring original members and musicians who recorded, performed, and toured the globe with Dire Straits. Alan Clark, Dire Straits' first keyboardist, plus Phil Palmer, Danny Cummings, and Mel Collins. This incredible show includes all the hits, Money for Nothing, Sultans of Swing, Walk of Life, and more. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
It's 1:46. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. We're live from the William Huff Studios. Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubusch, Hernan Salas. I don't think I introduced ourselves off the top. I'm just in... I don't know what's going on with me. Before we get to Heat and Smoke, Whistle Dog says Wallman cost a first, not a steal, but it was a good trade. Whistle Dog, the Oilers are Stanley Cup contenders. Cares about draft picks, bro. And that pick's going to be what, 30, 31, 32? They might not ever make it to the NHL. And you got a 29-year-old defenseman who's helping your team immensely. He's under contract. He's probably still got 5-6 good years. He's a hell of a player. We got to stop worrying about picks. Tampa Bay never worried. Florida doesn't worry about picks. Why should the Oilers? I know you need some, sure. I'm not saying give them all away. But, yeah, that pick.
You're basically sacrificing chickens and doing weird pagan rituals to hope that pick turns into something even resembling Wallman, right? Like, there's just no guarantee.
Yeah. Like, and again, that player's probably 4 or 5 years away.
At least.
Yeah, like that's the decade of darkness, early years of Connor and mentality. Like,
yeah,
young guys and sure you can mix them in and draft picks. I know you need some, but enough with you're in Stanley Cup mode. Go for it.
If I'm a GM, like it depends on how your team's doing. But if you get into the top 5, you probably want that pick or whatever. But I mean, I think what GMs probably look to more now, it's the teams that have already put in the time and work to get their players to that level. Not unlike what the St. Louis Blues did, right? That's what you want to target. You want to look at these guys that are maybe there's a log jam at that position in those organizations where they just can't get through yet. All they need is kind of a chance. That's who you're focusing on.
Yeah, and Max Bezuza says it good. A trade doesn't have to be a fleecing to be great. Of course not. And I'm sure San Jose's happy with that pick because they're rebuilding. They're years away from competing. Years away. And and if you look back at it for 6 years from now and say, well, Oilers could have the player. No, because if the Oilers win the Cup with Wallman, it's all worth it, Joaquin.
Yeah.
The Oilers are in win mode now. Win mode now.
Who said that again?
Whistle Dog.
Whistle Dog, yeah. He's probably at the River Creek Casino for those.
Hernan, when will you learn this fan base is either on cloud 9 or preparing for a nuclear fall? Yeah, I know. But it was just interesting, that text, because who cares? I could care less about that first round pick. I truly. I mean,
let's track it. Let's track the Wallman. See what this turns out to be.
But if they don't make that deal, then the Oilers don't have the cojones to make a deal for a defenseman, right?
No.
Yeah, so you can't have it both ways. That's all we're saying. And I like Jake Wallman. I think he's been spectacular for the Oilers. Koob, you ready?
I guess so, boys.
Sorry about that. Let's go. So Gage your answers first because he lost last week. So
yeah, that's how it works. And boys, it defers to the loser. We always got to remember that. Sometimes we get caught missing that. We got weird rules here. We might have to revamp them. That might be a summer thing that we do, but we're rolling with whatever we got going here today. So I'll start hot. It's all Stanley Cup playoff related, as it's been during this entire postseason. The first question is, actually, what is the first question? I got it here. Since 2000-2001, which player has the most assists in the playoffs? So since the 2000-2001 season, which player has the most assists in the playoffs? Gager, you get the first crack.
Nikita Kucherov.
He's right up there. He's second with 118 assists through 152 games.
Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. On 130 assists, 180 games played, 201 points.
That was a good pick.
That was a good pick.
Thank you.
Surprisingly, Nikita Kucherov second.
Oh,
Connor
look at
McDavid's
that.
fourth. He has 100 assists. So
I almost said
you got
Malkin,
that.
but
Malkin's third, 113. So there we go.
Wow.
You're on fire right now. Wow.
oh,
Yeah.
wow.
The Latino Heat on fire. All right, second question. Which goalie has the most playoff wins since the 2000 and 2001 season? Gager?
I am going to go with those. I'll go with Vasilevsky.
Vasilevsky. Good pick, but he's second with 67 wins through 120 games. Salas?
I'll go with Bob
Which Bob?
Bobrovsky.
That's not it.
Which Bob? No, it's not Bobrovsky. He is sixth on the list. 57 wins, 104 games played. Gager?
The Flower.
Oh,
Marc-Andre Fleury is correct.
damn it.
92 wins, 170 games played. People always discredit Marc-Andre Fleury, but he has a lot of playoff wins.
He does.
3-time Stanley Cup champ. So there we go.
1-1.
Oh, yeah.
Suck it.
There we go, boys. So 1-1. First time, actually, I think back-to-back times that we played this from last Tuesday that you guys got the first two questions right.
This is like
Let's
Panthers
go.
Edmonton.
Wow.
Finals here.
I like that.
Back
I
and
like that.
forth.
All right. Who has the best save percentage in the playoffs as a goaltender? Minimum 10 career playoff games played. So at least 10 games played.
All
Which
time?
goalie? All time. Yes. Which goaltender has the highest save percentage in the playoffs with minimum 10 games played? At least 10 games played for this goalie. Hernan?
All time. That's tough.
Not really. Not if you know it.
Marty Brodeur.
Ooh, actually, hold on. Let me revamp that. Since the 2000 season, we're keeping in the 2000s.
2000s.
So it's a little bit more recent. Sorry, boys. So
But he
since
played.
the 2000 season, right? I guess so. But since the 2000 season, which goaltender has the best save percentage with at least 10 games played? At least 10 games played. Hernan, you get another crack at it because your first one, I'll say it's void because I questioned you wrong.
Pappy Bulin.
Nikolai Habibulin. What a crazy poll. That is not right. He's not top 15.
The Dominator?
Good guess. Actually, I don't see him all the way up here. I mean, he does have a really high save percentage.
He sucks.
But he's 42nd on the list with a 918 save percentage. Through 58 games, he was 35-23
Since
with
the
under 2 goals
2000
against.
season.
Since the 2000-2001 season. This goaltender, he played 51 games in the playoffs. And it was 29-21.
Won all those cups. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chicago 1-3. Tim Tom. I'm gonna go Boston. Tim Thomas.
Yes. Yes, there we go. 51 games played, 50 games started, 933 save percentage. Corey Schneider is second on that list. 14 games played. He's 9 games started, 14 games played, 2-6. 931 save percentage.
I almost said Corey Crawford.
Jonas Hiller, Craig Anderson, Igor Shesterkin, Thomas Voikin or Vukin. I don't know how to say that name. I've never seen it. Vokun. Okay, sure. So there
All right.
we go. Good one.
Let's go.
Good one. All right. I got to keep track, make sure we're playing the game right. All right. Next question. Which player has the most games played all time in the Stanley Cup Final?
Played all time. In the final?
Specifically in the final. So we've asked in the playoffs. I think that's Chris Chelios over 200. Corey Perry's sneaking
What
up there
goalie?
as well. What goalie? No, just which player has played the most games in the Stanley Cup Final all time?
Ken Dryden?
Ken Dryden, good guess, but no, he's not top 10.
Mark Messier.
Mark Messier, solid guess as well. I don't see his name anywhere. Mark Messier, he's tied 30th. Or his 30th.
The final.
38 games
Oh, is this
played.
from 2000 on, or is this fall time?
All time.
Okay. Maurice Richard.
Maurice Richard is fourth with 58 games played. Hernan?
don't know.
There's a lot of names on this list. Well,
gotta
think
be
about
an
all the
old school guy.
dynasties, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Brian Trottier.
Brian Trottier. I think they got it done quick because he's not on this list.
Oh, damn.
Really?
Gager, one more crack.
Yeah, that's a good one, Trottier. Paul Coffey.
Paul Coffey is incorrect. Red Kelly.
Oh, Red.
And Henry Richard. 65 games played.
Red.
John Beliveau, 64. Maurice Richard, 58.
So I had his brother. I thought I messed up. I meant Henry.
They used to call him Big Red.
Big Red. The mean Red Kelly. That was Ted Lindsay. All right. How many rematches in the Stanley Cup Final have there been since 1976?
Ooh.
And some of these should be really obvious. I'd pop out. I mean, two of them.
So the Oilers alone. No, wait.
Since 76.
I'm going to say 6.
Incorrect. Joaquin?
How many? So what's the question again? How many?
Since 1976,
Okay.
how many Stanley Cup Final rematches have there been? In like back-to-back seasons.
Back
right?
to back?
I mean, I don't think there have been one where it's like, 10 years later, they rematch, right? So
Yeah.
it doesn't happen too often.
Is that a rematch?
Now,
3?
Ooh, so close. No, I'm not even going to get you guys to have another crack at that because it is so low. 4 of them.
4.
There's been 4 of them. So,
wait, let me say. So obviously Oilers, Islanders. Is it Oilers and Flyers?
Mm-mm.
No.
Probably played in the third round a couple times.
Shoot, who does
Definitely
that? I forget what I just. Obviously Edmonton, Florida.
Yep.
And what are
There's
the other 2?
So in 1976-77 and the 77-78 season, Habs versus Bruins.
Oh,
Habs won both of those. In the 1982-83 seasons, the Oilers and Islanders. Of course, the Islanders picked up that first one. Oilers getting their first Stanley Cup in that rematch. 07-08 and 08-09 Red Wings and Penguins.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
With Sidney Crosby and
Crosby's.
Marc-Andre Fleury, Chris Letang, all those boys.
I should have.
And then the Oilers and Cats.
Crazy.
That's
The
one I
Oilers
messed up.
and Cats. Good one, though, boys. All right. Which player has the most points in a single Stanley Cup Final game? And there's 7 players with 5 points. So which player, one of these 7, scored 5 points in a Stanley Cup Final game?
Who's going?
I guess it'll be Hernan. Well, he had the last crack.
Mark
Nobody
Stone.
got it. Mark Stone. No. And I'm talking specifically Stanley Cup Final.
Reggie Savage.
Reggie Savage. No.
Yari Curry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
He had 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists in 1989-90 season against Boston on what day is that? That would be May 18th, 1990 in Boston, in game number 2. 5 points. A couple other players, Eddie Bush, Sid Abel, Toe Blake. Some old names, boys. Don Metz, Frank Voiston of the Seattle Metropolitans when they won a Stanley Cup. But yeah, Yari Curry is for sure the most recent player on that list by far. All the other players are from the 40s or in the 1910s, sorry. In the 10s, boys.
Wow.
So good pull there, Hernan. What are we at here? Hernan up 3-1?
3-1, yeah.
Hernan up 3-1. The next question on the list, which team, in a single Stanley Cup Final game has the most goals for? So which team was able to pot the most goals in a single game?
Ooh. I'm going to go with Boston Bruins.
Solid guess, but no. Hernan?
Oilers.
Very close, but no. They had 8. They had the second most. Good guess.
Oh, Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they won the Cup.
Yeah. They had 9, didn't they?
It was 9-3. Yeah. They are tied with the Maple Leafs and Detroit Red Wings in the 35-36 season. The Red Wings did it against the Maple Leafs, and then the Maple Leafs did it against the Red Wings early in the 40s. So a couple 9-goal games for each of those teams against each other. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Well, I don't have any more questions.
Okay.
So there we go. You're just like, okay, Koob, what's
Does that
going
make
on?
you happy now?
Yes, 2 in a row
Finally.
for Hernan.
Yeah, how many more times are you going to mention that?
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. Make your birthday legendary at the CBH Gager. Epic food, killer drinks, and a vibe you can't beat. Plus, get free nachos with their app. Book your party now. The Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house. We close it out here for hour 1, the day before Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Coming up next, we'll continue to tee up Oilers Preds. We'll get Oilers Panthers. Go around the world of sports inside the numbers. Justin Dunk from 3 Down Nation. And then we'll tee up Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne, who will be on from 3 to 6 here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We're back after the break.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Get ready for pure adrenaline at Buck's Auto Parts Annihilation Night. Friday, June 13th at Red Torque Raceway. Witness an action-packed evening filled with crashing, smashing, and jaw-dropping stunts. From heart-pounding collision to cars dropped from towering cranes and a jet car burn. Celebrate an early Father's Day of outrageous entertainment at Buck's Auto Parts Annihilation Night. Friday, June 13th at Red Torque Raceway. Just west of Highway 2 and Highway 19 at the Edmonton International Airport. Tickets and info online at redraceway.com.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Enjoy great drinks, amazing vibes, and unforgettable memories. Download the Banquet app and get a free pizza pie on your birthday. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
One day out of Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final, Connor McDavid will play tomorrow, while Connor Brown is a game-time decision due to illness. Corey Perry also spoke, saying that he plans on returning for his 21st NHL season for next year. And PWHL News has the league announcing their protection list ahead of their expansion draft on the 9th. Sarah Nurse of the Scepters and Boston's Hillary Knight both left unprotected. Overseas in Russia, Sochi has named two-time Stanley Cup champion Slava Kozlov as their next head coach. Kozlov spent the last 4 seasons as the assistant coach with Dynamo. In the association, New York's Tom Thibodeau has been relieved of his head coaching duties, with Thibodeau spending the last 5 seasons behind the bench of the Knicks. Baseball action has the Jays challenging the Phillies their series opener. Just after 5 o'clock, Bowden Francis gets the ball for Toronto. Meanwhile, the Riverhawks open their season at home against the Harbor Cats. Listen to the full game live on any of EST's audio streams with first pitch at 7:05. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
All right, hour 2 here on EST Afternoons. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Coming to you live from the wonderful William Huff Studios here in the west side of the city. How you doing out there? Slam that thumbs up. Very slow once again on this Tuesday. Like you said, it's a little subdued right now ahead of this Oilers opening the Stanley Cup playoffs tomorrow. Seems like everybody's just scared and doesn't want to really do anything or jinx anything. Don't worry. If you slam that thumbs up, it's nothing but good vibes.
How about that? This is Sam O'Reilly, right? With the London Knights?
Yes, sir.
Memorial Cup champion?
Yes, sir.
That's
pretty cool.
That is really cool, dude.
And no, he will not be on the team next. Well, he might. Who knows?
19. No.
The Oilers win the cup. What they do next year, I could care less.
Really?
Yeah.
It's nice on Puckpedia now because now it's all moved over. So you can, if you look and you can see who.
There will be no Latino heat anymore.
No?
No. I told you, I'm going to give him like a good grace period here. Give me years.
No, it's not. I give you till Christmas.
No. How can you be upset, man? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be upset. I'm not upset, though.
No, I know. No, but I think...
Will you be... What if they don't win? Are you crushed? Do I got to hold you?
Like last year, like it's weird because last year I was watching like a fan. I had like my family over for the game 7. Yep. We had a lot of beers. Like my nephew, my nieces took it harder, but like it sucked. But like I was surprised how it's not that I didn't care, but how just calm I was. Because,
really?
Yeah, because I also felt like, okay, like they're gonna win one. Like I know they are. You know what I mean? With Connor and Leon, like there's no way they're not winning one. So I was like,
wow, that's impressive that you say that. I don't have that optimism.
So it's a little bit different. Well, like I don't know, Gage. You're always negative about the Oilers. I don't get it.
I'm not negative. I'm just I realize how hard it is to do. Like what they've been. I remember them going to the finals last year, and what I thought was, wow, what an accomplishment. That was almost a victory in itself, right? Whatever happens, I felt it was gravy after that. And of course, you get caught up in it. Wow, this could be really special. But yeah, I think this is a very difficult thing to do.
100%.
One of the hardest things in all of professional sports to accomplish. And
can't be that hard. Florida's in their 3rd Stanley Cup.
They're good, man.
The Oilers are good too, though. Well, when you have a generational talent, I think it's only a matter of time before. I do, and it's taken a long time. Let's not kid ourselves. Like,
well, you look at Ovechkin. How old was Ovechkin when he won his first cup? 32? 30?
Well, let's look it up.
So,
33?
33?
Something like that.
I don't think, was he that old?
Yeah.
No.
He's like 39 right now, so 6 years ago, right?
You guys are insane.
7 years ago.
So just because you're a generational player doesn't always mean you're going to be a champion.
It took Ovechkin till his 13th year in the league.
Yeah.
To win a Stanley Cup. But that's what I mean. He's going I don't know what to say anymore. We're going to get to our predictions for Inside the Numbers, but Joaquin, slam that thumbs up. Hit us up on the River Korean box, 780-218-9999, okay? Nasty chat. If you're listening, it's iHeart, TuneIn, radio apps, and the EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Yeah, like last year, Gage, it was weird. And it also, it changes when you're in this business. You know what I mean? Like I'm still a fan, but I'm not as like, well, maybe it's age too. Like I'm not ready to go crazy after every win and every loss. And I also worked for a pro team, and it kind of, you see the inner workings of stuff, and it's just, I think you have more of appreciation for it. Now, I'm extremely hard on the Oilers this year. I'm not denying that. I was. But I don't know. It's just, it's different now. It's different for me. Like if they win, I'll be honest, I'll probably be here emotional by myself, and I'll probably have to tell Tommy don't bring me on camera for a good 5 minutes, because I'll be honest, like that's how much I grew up cheering for these guys. I was diehard Oilers Elks, but when you get in this business, you just it kind of I don't want to say kill or drowns or anything like that, but it just changes kind of sometimes the way you view the team, right? Like I will still be very happy, and I'll probably have a lot of celebratory drinks.
Yeah,
but
by yourself here.
Probably. and then we'll just go somewhere and party it up, man. Like, again, I'm not going to be on the streets with all the young people, but I want to see my family. I want to hug them and celebrate. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. Sports is beautiful.
I get it, man. I get it. I saw the disappointment in my brother-in-law and sister-in-law when they lost last year. Because I was over at their house, and they were my brother-in-law is funny because he has to remove himself from the situation sometimes, and he just he gets emotional. So it would be nice to see them really happy.
I cried when Canada won the Four Nations. I'm not going to cry when the Oilers won.
That's Four Nations. That's different.
That Four Nations means
everything.
It was nothing, right?
Means everything.
So I'm just saying. I don't even know what we were supposed to get to here. Justin Dunk, 223 Down Nation. We just did Heat and Smoke if you missed it. We're very close to 12K subs. So if you want to subscribe, you can do so also. All right.
More than 12K, 12.6.
12.6. That's what I meant. So you and I picked the Oilers in 5 last round. We're both correct. Koo picked the Stars in 6. And then Gager, you were the best. You had the Panthers in 6. They won in 5. I had the Canes in 6. Completely lost. And then Coop got the team right, but the game's wrong. He had the Panthers in 6. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one round to go, boys. We're gonna start with Kubalicious. Koob, who's winning the Stanley Cup, and in how many games?
It's hard to go with just such a straightforward, simple answer because it could really go either way. Like it's on a dime, right? You start from the bottom up. If you're looking at every single team or both of the teams, I guess there's only 2, but you start from the bottom, filling out into the core and the superstar players. From that bottom point, I feel like the Panthers really have that nitty gritty play where they go deep in on the forecheck and they're really relentless. Like they know how to win. They know what the show's about. They know how to get in teams' faces. They have Brad Marchand now. Their depth on the back end is superb. Seth Jones, they got a couple bona fide players on that defensive line. But when you compare it up front from a Matthew Tkachuk to Connor McDavid is by far the best player out on the ice, and he's a game changer no matter what. So I think Connor McDavid's will to want to win the Stanley Cup is more than any other player in the league, and it's hard to doubt a player like that. I did it in the last series against the Stars, and he showed up big time. Well, the Stars kind of fell asleep at the wheel and kind of threw the series away as well. You look at goaltending, Stuart Skinner has proven in this playoffs that he can bounce back and be a goaltender to stop those pucks. Sergei Bobrovsky is an all-star goaltender and one of the best that we've seen in a long time. But I feel like the Oilers are able to get it done. I'm going to say Edmonton in 7.
Wow.
Edmonton in 7. Gager.
You could have just gone with that. Jesus.
I got to back up my point. I said Stars in 6.
Kidding, I'm kidding.
Hey, he showed
He showed your work.
He showed your work. That's what I like.
It was good. It was good.
Right.
I liked it. You next?
No, you.
Why me?
Okay, I'll go next.
Yeah, you go next.
This is what's going to happen.
I love this.
And as if you've known, I'm rarely wrong. The Oilers will win the first 2 games at home. They will split in Florida, and the Oilers will hoist Lord Stanley in Game 5. You heard it here first.
You want another gentleman's show so badly.
I do.
Okay.
But come on, the Oilers are not losing tomorrow. There's no way with that crowd and the way they're buzzing and Connor McDavid smells blood. Come on, guys. Game 2, I think, is going to be close, but the Oilers are going to pull it out. Florida will win Game 3, then Oilers win the next 2. And when is Game 5? Saturday? Is that a Saturday? Yeah, it is. We'll be partying in the streets of Edmonton, my friend. All into Sunday and possibly into Monday. So you might have to do the show by yourself. Gager?
Yeah, well, Coop brings out some great points. But unfortunately, I have to go with the Panthers in 7. I think that this is going to be just a back and forth, tough series. But by the end of it, I just think the physical play of Zach Hyman and the way he was going is going to be so missed. And I don't see Edmonton being able to combat that relentless forward checking and pressure from the Panthers. It's going to just overwhelm them after a certain point.
I know I agree with that point, but I think the Oilers do the same. They play the same way. I just and someone saying Hernan, Florida wants it just as bad. I understand that, guys, but I just can't believe and sit here that Connor McDavid will be denied twice. I don't think I can recover from that, to be honest with you. I will not let you pick Florida, Gage. You have to pick the Oilers. All right, Koob. In a few words, your Conn Smythe winner.
In a few words, hey? Well,
I'm kidding.
Connor McDavid. He gets it a second time. He's going to show up big. He had over a point per game in the Stanley Cup Final last year. He's going to get 12 points in 7 games and then take it home. Easy peasy.
All right.
Back-to-back Connor McDavid's. I could go with that. And for all the people getting upset with me, look, usually I don't like to make predictions till I see tomorrow. I could change my mind after tomorrow's game, but just I'm going off of what I've seen up to this point so far. Okay. Now, in an alternate universe, if Zach Hyman's fine, I think I picked the Oilers to win. So it's that close. But he's a player that brings a lot of intangibles. But if you're going to ask me Conn Smythe, Connor McDavid grabs that. He doesn't grab it again. It gets delivered after because he won't grab it.
I'm going to say Stuart Skinner because they're going to win in 5. He's going to be outstanding.
What does he need to do to actually put himself in the forefront of the Conn Smythe? Does he need 3 shutouts?
No, he just
in 5 games.
He just needs to be great.
How great is great?
You can be great and lose and win 3-2. You don't necessarily need a shutout, right? So I think it comes down to those 2 guys. I don't think anyone else is going to win it unless someone goes completely off in this series.
If you were going to pick for what?
But you picked Florida to win. You have to pick a Florida Panther.
Yeah, but I still think McDavid's going to win it again.
Oh, it's interesting.
Who on the Florida side do you think would win? Bob.
I mean, it could be any other forwards, right?
I mean, they're so close in points. Like, say, Ito Leostarainen has like a 3.9 or something.
Making predictions after watching a game is almost as bad as you want to not making predictions.
Well, these teams haven't played against one another, and they play, you laid it out, kind of similar styles, right? But I just want to see it.
Yeah, I get Florida looked really good, but I think the Oilers looked even better. The Oilers dusted 2 really good teams. Dusted them. Who's with me?
Oh, everyone's with you.
Nobody?
That was good. I like that one.
History, like how the 2 last generational players have won their first cup in a rematch. Yeah, good point. Sergei Bobrovsky, it is teamwork, guys. It's not just me.
What about each team? Like, they are so similar. You think the Oilers are going to smack them in 5 games, but what do you think is the biggest advantage for both team compared to the other? It's hard to pinpoint one specifically because they are such great teams and they both earn this spot back in the final to rematch once again, but what is the advantage from either side? Is it the goaltending from the Panthers? Is it just Connor McDavid from the Oilers? Is it that simple, or does it go deeper than that? Because special teams plays a factor as well.
There's a way that the Florida Panthers play without the puck that makes it extremely difficult to combat. The one thing that the Oilers do have going for them is the third pairing of the Florida's defense with Kulikov and Nate Schmidt. I don't know how much you're going to see those guys. You'll see them a bit, but it's Mikkola, Jones, Ekblad, and Forsling that have to be the target, and Florida's going to do the same. Like we talked about it on Two Guys. Like if you don't think they're going to try to get on Bouchard, get on Ekholm, get on Nurse, like this series is so interesting because you're base. It went 7 last year, but I think both teams are even playing at a higher level this year. They're boiling it down to the simplest form of hockey and taking the will out of other teams. Man, this is I think that's why I say it's going to go 7.
And this is kind of my like I know Hyman's a huge piece, but like the Oilers dusted 3 teams without Ekholm, their best defenseman. I think they can survive Ekholm. I mean, I think they can survive being without Hyman.
You think that the insertion of Ekholm negates not having Hyman in the lineup?
I do, because you're still bringing in quality. Like Connor Brown steps in, Arvidsson's in there. Yes, not the same players. I understand that, but I think they're not a big drop off from what Zach Hyman has. I mean, no one's going to match Zach Hyman's hitting and the heart and all that and the scoring. I get it, but I think the Oilers will be fine. That's just me. I could be wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, but you're never wrong.
Well, that's true too, right? Smitty the Welder says Skinner will not win the cons. Well, I mean, believe in your goalie, man. Like, geez. Come on.
How about Jeff Skinner? He has 2 points in 2 playoff games.
Yeah,
Come on now.
He's got to get in a game here.
Imagine if he comes in and just starts lighting up, finishes with like 13 goals.
Yeah. And the Oilers, like Big Uke says, they've won 2 games and played great without Hyman. So, Hymes. All right, guys, coming up next, we are going to switch gears. Sorry, that was Inside the Numbers for Play Alberta. Play Alberta is your home for online gaming excitement, featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. Deposit 20 or more to get a $50 casino bonus using promo code EST Casino. You can do the same for a free sports bet, and all you have to do is use EST Sports. All right, coming up next, we're going to switch gears a bit, talk to our buddy Justin Dunk from 3 Down Nation. Tee up week 1 in the CFL as the Stanley Cup playoffs kick off tomorrow, and we'll be going all in on Oilers Panthers. We're back after the break here on EST Afternoons. 14 away from 100 thumbs up. Let's get there. So we got about, just under 40 minutes to do. So slam that thumbs up. Here's Kubalicious Sports Update.
Connor McDavid and the Oilers return to practice once again this morning. McDavid ready for Game 1 tomorrow, while Connor Brown is a game-time decision due to illness. And 40-year-old Corey Perry also mentioned he intends on playing next season in his 21st NHL campaign. Overseas in Russia, 2-time Stanley Cup champion, former Red Wing Slava Kozlov has been named the head coach of Sochi in the KHL. Elsewhere, the PWHL has announced their protected players list ahead of next week's expansion draft. Key players left unprotected include Sarah Nurse of the Scepters and Boston's Hillary Knight. And after losing in the East Final to the Pacers in 6 games, the Knicks have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau after he spent the last 5 years as the head coach of the Knicks. And the Blue Jays have their series opener against the Phillies. Bowden Francis gets the ball for Toronto. Christopher Sanchez takes them out for Philadelphia. First pitch just goes right after 5 o'clock. Back in Edmonton, the Riverhawks play the Harbor Cats from Vancouver. EST has full coverage of the game on any of our audio streams. First pitch just after 7. Justin Dunk is our guest on the other side of the break here on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Experience the iconic music of Dire Straits with DSL, Dire Straits Legacy, June 12th in the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Featuring original members and musicians who recorded, performed, and toured the globe with Dire Straits. Alan Clark, Dire Straits' first keyboardist, plus Phil Palmer, Danny Cummings, and Mel Collins. This incredible show includes all the hits, Money for Nothing, Sultans of Swing, Walk of Life, and more. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Keep your team jersey and rally towel close by and help bring the championship home. For all your other treasures, store them with Sentinel Storage. Store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Time out, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
.227, welcome back to EST Afternoons. Trying to get Dunk on the phone here. Where are you, Dunk? Need to talk some CFL. 90 thumbs up. Very slow these 2 days, man. It's a weird vibe here in Edmonton ahead of the Stanley Cup Finals. I think there's like a nervous energy. Weird. So let's try to get to 100. We want to get to 150. We're in the Oilers are in the final. We can't even get to 100. Anyways, moving on.
Who's your favorite in the CFL? Since we're waiting for Dunk.
What do you mean?
Who's your favorite? So, like, we're doing predictions. Start of the season. Who do you think is going to win the Grey Cup? I know it's early, but
that's a good question because I think all 5 teams in the West have improved.
Mm-hmm.
In the East, I think the only team that might be bad is Hamilton.
Really?
Yeah. I think Ottawa's going to be good. I think Montreal's going to be good. I think once Toronto gets Chad Kelly, they'll be good. That's a tough one, man. And just looking at the cuts this weekend, like a lot of notable names cut. Like it's really hard to gauge who's going to be in the final. You like how I did that? Yeah, it's tough, man. I don't know, to be honest with you right now. I think the Riders have a good chance.
Really?
Yeah. I think they're going to be the top of the West.
No way.
Yes.
Huh.
I think they'll be the top of the West. I think the Elks will be improved. Calgary's, they're kind of weird to me. I don't know what to expect from them yet. I think a lot of people are sleeping on BC. I think BC's going to be a lot better than people are giving them credit for.
Because they kind of fell off late, right?
Yeah. And they lost a lot of key players.
Mm-hmm.
But they got Nathan Rourke, man. He went 8 for 8 against the Elks' #1 defense, and he had none of his #1 offensive players. It's preseason, I get it, but that guy's talented. He's had a whole camp. He's Buck Pierce, who's a brilliant offensive mind. I think they're going to be a lot better than people anticipate. And I think Winnipeg's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Even though Zach Collaros hasn't missed the first game, they're always going to be there because they're just solid, right? They got that aura about them, right? They
have that veteran kind of stuff where they know
how to
It's
win.
almost like they turned it on at the last part of last year, right? And just kind of, okay, now it's time to get going.
Yeah, like it's... I remember last year they started 0-4.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They just... But when you talk to people, or when I would listen to people talk about them, and even hearing them, Collaros even saying, like, look, we just need to get things going here. There was no panic, nothing. compared to here, where the sky was. Well, it wasn't falling; it was already down. But it was just
It's
like,
just,
here we go again.
Here we go again, right?
Yeah.
Like, because Chris Jones got fired after the 0-5 start,
Yeah.
and then they showed a little bit better, but then fell off again. Another miss in the playoffs, and I think with the Elks, I think there's cautious optimism, cautious optimism, because usually when you win the offseason, it sometimes, like a lot of the times, it doesn't translate.
No.
Now, I think the Elks can go the route of the Riders, because the Riders last year, they brought in Mace, the new young coach. They brought in a bunch of new players. They started 4-0. They were riding high. Then they had a little lull, right? They struggled in the middle of the season, and they got good again towards the end. I think the Elks can go that route. I just don't think the Elks can. I shouldn't say they can, because they can. Nothing's going to happen to them if they do. But like, in sake of getting fans back and all that, and the hype, that we're all excited for the season, you cannot start poorly.
Yeah.
And they have a tough schedule, man. They get BC
first,
then Montreal, and then Winnipeg. They haven't won in BC probably since 2019. Montreal always comes in here and gives them hell. And they haven't won in Winnipeg. I think they're on an 11-game losing streak against the Bombers. It's 11 or 12. So now, but the Elks made all these moves to improve their team. So you got to show it, right? You can't take much from the preseason. Yes, they didn't score much offensively.
What do you think of Ford's play?
His first drive was really good. They had a good, they were running the ball and doing some play action. I thought they had the defense kind of unbalanced there, which is good. Rankin had a couple good runs. He had 2 darts, one to Dunbar, one to Mathis. His first. But then he threw a really poor interception. I was like, and that's the thing, as a young quarterback, you have to get out of your game. He threw it into double coverage. There's no chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, do you have a pick to win the Grey Cup? I mean, it's super early, but
yeah, no, I mean, I had an inkling about BC just because Rourke, seeing what he did before, we were all excited. A Canadian guy going down south. In preseason looking good, but now that he came back, kind of struggled, obviously. But to be prepared and know where you're going to be for the year, and he's such a talent anyway. Yeah. They were so good for a lot of the season last year. I kind of look at BC. They're like you.
Yeah. It's I think the Riders will be there. I truly do. The Riders had a lot of injuries last year, right? So I think Montreal can be there. But Davis Alexander had a small sample size. He looked really good. But now when you're in full control, it's different, right? People have film on you. People can, they know how to adjust to you. That's what happened with Trey as well, right? He started hot, and then teams started figuring him out. And so you got to adapt. You got to find a way around that. So, but I'll say this about the CFL. I think this is the best crop of CFL quarterbacks I've seen in a very long time, Joaquin.
Well, yeah, everything.
Even the backups are good.
There's a lot of experience at quarterback this year.
You have a former MVP here in Edmonton as your backup.
Yeah.
Right? You have the guy who a couple years ago I think threw for the most yards in Jake Mayer in Saskatchewan. Like, it's just crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the CFL. It gets going on Thursday. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Our boy Dusty's doing the game on Friday in Montreal.
Wow.
Yeah, poor guy. He's probably going to have a bad time.
So he goes straight from the boys' trip to Montreal.
Yeah.
Awful.
He's so unlucky. Yeah. So, and then the Elks, a doubleheader day. I think Calgary's home to Hamilton. Tommy's doing sidelines for that game.
Oh, my gosh.
He's a busy boy.
Wow. Does he wear shorts on the sidelines?
John Lou used to.
Really?
He used to wear like a suit jacket and suit shorts.
Oh, okay.
Like, so he'd have like, you have the suit pants and jacket, but his would be shorts.
But he's a sharp dresser too.
Yeah, he's cool.
Do you think Tommy will?
That'd be great if he.
Oh my God! Hey,
should Tommy wear shorts on the sidelines for CFL coverage, just like John Lou used to? I think John Lou's. I don't know if he's doing games anymore.
Bow tie, right?
Yeah, bow tie guy. He's a rocker too. I think he's in a band.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Are you serious?
Yes. I never joke about these things.
Tommy, throw the shorts on. Let's see those things.
Yeah, so it's going to be a busy week, man. I can't wait for that game on Saturday. Like, I'm excited, obviously, for the Stanley Cup Finals, but there's something about week 1 in the CFL and watching the green and gold. It's just great. Snoop Dogg in the house there. Everybody's going to be pumped. And just to pass along, if you're a big Elks guy and you want jerseys, my good buddy Morley Scott, a couple of number changes for the Elks. Cordell Jackson, friend of the show, he'll move from 15 to 13. That was his college number. So if you're looking for 15, you won't find him. It will be number 13, Cordell Jackson at Sam linebacker. And Rank the Tank, Justin Rankin, will move from number 31 to number 5. So if you want to get those jerseys, make sure you get the correct numbers. Also, some news, the New York Knicks relieving Tom Thibodeau of his duties after going to the conference finals.
What's going on?
What's going on there? And then the Oilers have signed forward Robbie Yarventi to a 1-year, 2-way contract extension with an AAV of 7.75. I thought this guy signed in Europe a few weeks ago.
He might have, but there is I know with the IIHF, if you sign a European contract, but it's null and void if you sign an NHL deal within a certain time frame. So you could be right there. I'm not sure, but that's what happened to me because I had signed in Mannheim, Germany.
Okay.
And then the Oilers came calling again. They needed my services, so I.
So you voided.
I voided the deal.
You voided the deal.
Probably shouldn't have. But
and
actually, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here now. So
that's interesting how life works.
Yeah.
Now you're sitting with the Latino Heat doing the show.
Thank God. Thank God I didn't go to Mannheim.
Oh boy. So it's the calm before the storm here as the Edmonton Oilers get set. Media day looked like it was crazy down there. I think the Florida Panthers are hitting the floor now or are on the floor now. So we'll see what happens. And then tomorrow's going to be crazy. It's going to be great. It's going to be quite the lead up. We'll start at 6 a.m. with Dave Jamieson, Lieutenant Eric, YouTube Trev. That will lead into the lock shop. The hangout. Jeez, I'm missing the hangout. The hangout with Matthew Wanek. I don't think Gazzola will be on the show because he'll be down at Morning Skate. I'm not 100% sure on that. And then into the lock shop, and then into the oil stream.
Oh.
And then EST afternoons. And then the Reed Wilkins show from 3 to 5. And then at 5, it's Tom Gazzola live from the Ice House for the pregame show of Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals.
I wonder
Holy mama.
How guys are sleeping tonight on both sides. Who's getting the best night's sleep?
Probably the old Corey Perry.
Corey Perry.
Been there, done that.
Panthers, a lot of those guys are
Bob. Nothing bothers Bob. For real, though.
Kachuk's got to deal with like 10 wake-up calls from people for trying to find his room.
I think Barkov's one of those guys that not a lot bothers him. He's very relaxed.
He's I think they're sleeping. The Oilers are a little bit more harsh. I
think the young guys.
Yeah.
Younger
Pod closing, probably not sleeping much.
Yeah.
Stuart Skinner get a good night's sleep?
That guy's so cool and calm. Yeah, I can.
I don't. He has
2 little ones.
Yeah, maybe just play with those little buggers all night. That'll put you right to bed. But he some of the things he mentions, because I think not all goalies are the same, right? But there's a lot of things that I think we all experience in the same way. And he said he was nervous, and I could see that. But what he's been able to do, past experience. Yeah, hopefully just, Stu, I know you're listening. Take the kids to the park. Let them run rampant. You'll be in bed by 8.
Sheldon says, Kane's having a party tonight.
Yeah.
No, Kane. We need you, bud. We need you. Old man Bush will have a great sleep after a nice chamomile tea.
Oh, yeah. He's having Jell-O and stuff once the nurse brings it to his room, and that's it.
Coop, you tell him we'll bring him in. We'll call him in about 3-4 minutes. We do have Justin Dunk, so we'll finish off with him, I guess, here on EST Afternoons. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Crew Resort and Casino, home of the Tap 25 restaurant, where it's 50% off the entire menu, available 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. We're going to get to a break. No, I got to wait till Coop. Sorry, Coop. I almost forgot. I was going to throw to him, and he's...
Throw him in. He's on the phone?
Yeah, he's on the phone here.
That's all right.
It's all good. That's a good question though about getting sleep before the big game. Man, it's game 1 though. I like game 7. I think you'd be a lot more nervous now. At least obviously.
I don't think so. I think game 7 you're
already in it.
Yeah, you're so ingrained in just the day to day, the minute to minute. Tomorrow it's the start. It's at home too.
Yeah,
which is cool.
You you have your routine, right? Like,
yeah. Do you think this means a lot having home ice?
I do.
Okay.
I think it's enormous.
Enormous.
All right. We'll come back with Justin Dunk. We'll chat with him about week 1 in the CFL, and we'll close it out with more Oilers in this day in sports history here on EST Afternoons. Here's Coob Sports Update.
Edmonton's Connor McDavid is good to go for Game 1 tomorrow. The captain returning to practice today. However, Connor Brown is sick and is a game-time decision for the contest. Plus, the Oilers have signed 22-year-old forward Roby Yarventi to a 1-year, 2-way contract extension, while in the KHL, Slava Kozlov, 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Red Wings, is joining Sochi to become their head coach. And ahead of next week's expansion draft, the PWHL unveiled their protection list. Key players left unprotected include Hillary Knight of the Fleet and Toronto's Sarah Nurse. In NBA news, the New York Knicks have fired head coach Tom Thibodeau after 5 seasons with the Knicks. The Knicks losing to the Pacers in 6 games during the East Final last week. MLB action sees Toronto host Philly for their series opener. First pitch just after 5. Bowden Francis starts for the Jays. And from Remax in Edmonton, the Riverhawks scrapped the Harbor Cats just after 7. Listen to the full game right here on EST through any of our audio streams. And we also have the Cactus Rats in action against the Gulls. That one starts at 7:05. Justin Dunk joins us on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you up to date.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Jody Shelley joining us here. This is going to be one of those series where Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl will try to take this series over. And I think it's even depth. I like the way guys are positioned now. Guys all understand what the task is here right now, and I think that is going to give Edmonton Oilers that edge, just like it did with the Penguins when Sid got his first cup.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Experience the iconic music of Dire Straits with DSL. Dire Straits Legacy, June 12th in the venue at River Cree Resort and Casino. Featuring original members and musicians who recorded, performed, and toured the globe with Dire Straits. Alan Clark, Dire Straits' first keyboardist, plus Phil Palmer, Danny Cummings, and Mel Collins. This incredible show includes all the hits, Money for Nothing, Sultans of Swing, Walk of Life, and more. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
It's 2:44. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We're coming to you live from the William Huff Studios. Talk some CFL to close it out. We're 4 away from 100 thumbs up. Let's get there. Come on. Don't be a pleasure delayer like our good buddy Reed Wilkins says. And he's coming up with Jay Milne from 3 to 6 here. And then tomorrow we're all over it. 6 to 6. Getting you set for game 1 between the Oilers and Panthers. And we'll be back later that night with the post-game show. But let's talk some CFL. It kicks off on Thursday. We're pretty excited here to see how the Elks look in BC. Rourke versus Train to talk all things CFL. Our good buddy Justin Dunk from 3 Down Nation. Justin, got to hit you with the hard question. Who are you taking in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Man, the Oilers, come on now. Bring the cup back to Canada, boys. Let's go.
Great. Hey, are you? When are you going to be in Sask? Or are you there already?
No, not quite yet.
No.
Tomorrow morning, heading out to Regina for the home opener, boys. Season opener, I should say.
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. It's going to be a great vibe. Good stuff. Hey, Justin, let's start with some interesting names that were released over the weekend. I want to start in Toronto. Seeing my boy Kevin Brown release along with Kadeem Carey. What are you hearing? What happened there? Was it just the other running backs that they do have just outperformed them?
Yeah, from what I was told, especially about Kadeem Carey, let's focus on him because he was the guy that was a 1,000-yard rusher for them and helped them win a Grey Cup last year too, and felt like he was going to help them build a dynasty, I think were his words. But essentially what happened in training camp was Carey didn't take many reps. I was told it was limited reps. And guys like Mayan Williams, who's a rookie from Ohio State, really took advantage of that opportunity, translated that into the preseason. And the Argos sat there and thought, like, we know that Kadeem Carey's really good and these rookies aren't proven, but they've shown out so much better than him that we're prepared to take what some people may think is a risk, but what we think is a potential higher upside, with all due respect to Kadeem Carey, guys, who is in his mid-30s already. Like, to me, there's a bit of a difference there between Kadeem Carey and Walter Fletcher, who's 28 years old. So I think you put all those together and you say, okay, it's probably better to part with Carey 1 year too early than 1 year too late, because if you had to, for example, put Mayan Williams on the practice roster or release him, another team probably would have snapped him up.
Justin, we were discussing before, and like you do kind of at the start of every season is a few predictions. We were looking around, and it's kind of hard to predict who's kind of the Grey Cup favorite. We were both Hernan and I were kind of looking out west at the BC Lions, but at the start of the season here, who do you think has the best chance of hoisting the Grey Cup by the end of the year?
You know, the betting odds would say otherwise. They're favoring the Winnipeg Blue Bombers because they've been there 5 straight times. I just think that's so chalk at this point, and there's going to be a regression to the mean there where they don't get there, right? Like, the odds would say that they don't get there for a 6th straight time. I don't even know if that's ever happened in CFL history. So if I'm looking at just my personal favorites to get there, let's say from each division, I'm looking at the East Division and I'm thinking, you know, okay, I think the Argos are going to be without Chad Kelly for a little bit longer than expected. Let's not forget, you know, he snapped his leg in Montreal in November, guys. So this is a pretty short timeline if he was even going to play in week 1, which I don't think is going to happen. So I'm thinking, like, okay, if Montreal plays well with Davis Alexander, a lot of the pieces that they have there have been together, same coordinators on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, and the receiving group, with Austin Mack back in the mix, not coming back from the NFL, has a full off season focused on the CFL. I think the Alouettes are probably your favorite, but I think the Ottawa Redblacks are going to have a say, guys. That offense has all the makings to be dynamic. Now they have to do it with Drew Brown, and they're somewhat of a sexy pick this year to get to the Grey Cup. So I'm looking at those two teams in the East battling it out to get to the Grey Cup. And then in the West, guys, you know, I think in some sense it could be open, but really, to me, I think the Riders are probably the favorite. And I'm not just saying that because I do the pre and post game show. And then I think a dark horse team, guys, is right in your backyard is Edmonton. Like, the talent alone that Edmonton has should at least have them in the Grey Cup conversation. Now you have to come together, and Trey Ford is going to need to take a big leap here and be consistent game in and game out as the franchise quarterback there. But just from a pure talent perspective, and especially with the Canadians they got there, I think Edmonton should be able to make noise in the West, although they got to go out and prove it.
Yeah, I just sticking with the green and gold. You know, they won the offseason, and Justin, we've seen it so many times when teams win the offseason. It might take them a while to get going. I know some fans are kind of worried about what they saw in the preseason. They weren't really gelling offensively. Defense looked okay. Special teams is still a big question mark, especially at the kicking position. But when you look at the Elks, a tough schedule, BC, Montreal, Winnipeg to start. Like, this is a team, we were just saying, can't afford a slow start anymore.
No, you can't get behind the 8 ball. And I think, to the special teams point, Mark Killam will get that figured out. That's his specialty. He'll have the boys going there. But I think you're right that, you know, a lot of these guys have got to get on the same page. And you look at Trey Ford as a franchise guy, and some of the people in the Elks building are going to roll their eyes there, or the Double E building, perhaps I should say. But his favorite target is gone in Geno Lewis. like you take that away from a young quarterback, he's got to find a rapport. Now, I think he can find it with perhaps a Curly Gittens Jr. or Stephen Dunbar, but we'll see in the regular season. Like preseason is gone and done, and guys aren't really going full out, especially the veterans. But you mentioned the schedule and the start. They're going into BC Place. It's going to be packed, going to be excited. Snoop Dogg there. That's a difficult task, but I think Edmonton is a better team there and could get the win. But you're right. Like they can't have another 0-1 start here, getting near the midpoint of the season and try to claw their way back.
Justin, with the Argos, we saw what happened. You had already mentioned the injury to Kelly. But what happens? Kelly comes back and just isn't the same. That was a horrific injury that he took. Can Nick Arbuckle kind of carry the mail for this team, or at least the beginning of the season allow Chad Kelly to come back at 100%?
I think he could probably keep this team around 500, perhaps a little bit better if some of the guys on defense step up the way that the Argos envision. But, that's why I don't necessarily view the Argos as at the top in the East at the moment, because almost their entire defensive line is gone from last year. I think Derek Parrish can be a guy that can step up as a starter and be really good. He had 6 sacks last year, but we've seen it with a guy like Brandon Barlow, a rotational guy who people thought could step up and be a consistent pass rusher as a starter. That hasn't happened to the level I think that people anticipated. So it's easier said than done. And to your point, I think it's going to be difficult for Chad Kelly to come back from snapping 2 bones in his legs and just get back into the groove that he was in. I think he can be among the best quarterbacks in the CFL, but that's a major mental roadblock to get over. And I think it's part of the reason why the Argos aren't going to rush him back, and specifically didn't want to play him in Montreal, where that injury occurred just a few months ago.
Hey, Justin, one last one for you here. What do you make of the Stamps? I mean, obviously an upgrade at quarterback of Vernon Adams Jr. He brings a lot. He's been around. He's had some bad seasons, but lately he's been really, really good. He's a veteran presence. They got Dominique Rhymes there to join Reggie Beggleton. What do you see from Calgary this year? Did you see much of a jump up in the standings?
It's hard, man. I think on one side you can see it, but then Vernon Adams Jr. has been erratic in his career, guys.
Yeah.
Just look at the start last year in BC, right? He was hotter than anything. Everybody was talking to him about being MOP, and then there was a regression back to the mean. And if you talk to personnel guys around the league, they'll tell you the same thing. He can get really hot and be as good as the best at quarterback in the CFL, but it's when he has that swing back the other way that he hasn't been able to sort of curtail that and just even have consistent quarterback play. So I understand the excitement there. Yeah. There's a bunch of new pieces, especially on defense over there with a guy like Flo Ormalade. So I think they're going to be more competitive, but I need to see it from the Stampeders team, because like you alluded to with the Elks, again, I should probably say the double E, but there's a lot of new pieces there, right? I know Rhymes has played with Adams Jr. in the past, but he hasn't played with Reggie Beggleton, hasn't played with Jalen Philpott. I know they were training together in the offseason, but until you get into the games, I think it's difficult to build that rapport at game speed.
Justin, great stuff as always. All the best in your travels, and have a good pre and post there for the opening game, the Riders and the Red Blacks. It's going to be a fun season. I'm sure we'll have you on plenty of times here during the season, my friend.
Sounds good, fellas. Appreciate it.
All right. That's Justin Dunk from 3 Down Nation. Does a great job covering the league. Check him out. JDunk12 on Twitter. And I think the Elks and Calgary are the 2 teams that have to go out and prove it, Joaquin. The Montreal pick's a solid one for the Grey Cup. Riders, I guess we both agree on that one. So it's going to be an interesting season. Elks kick it off Saturday, 8 o'clock. Jay Milne, Matty Wanek, the Green and Gold kickoff show. Saturday,
right,
7 o'clock right here. And then join him right after for the post-game show. That should be a riot. Okay, quickly, we got to get out here in 2 minutes. Happy 65th birthday to Sega. Sega was founded today in 1960 as Service Games, hence the name Sega.
Really?
Yeah, did you know that?
No.
June 3rd, 1987, the film Untouchables was released in theaters.
Oh, that was a good one.
About, it was about Al Capone, right? Kevin Costner.
Well, it was more about the cops that brought
how they
that.
got him. Yeah. Also on this day in 1988, the film Big was released.
Have you seen any of these?
Yeah, I've seen them both.
Oh, okay. Big's great. The scene with what's the guy's name? Valance? What? I don't know what.
The piano.
The piano.
Yeah, that's cool. And today's National Egg Day. Do you like eggs? Do you like eggs?
Love eggs.
Your favorite way to eat eggs?
My new favorite now is my mother-in-law gave me a little silicone tray that I can put in the air fryer, and I mix up eggs and put in some veggies and throw it in the air fryer, and it makes like this little quiche.
God, you're bougie, man.
Takes
very
2
bougie.
seconds.
It's very bougie. Coop.
I got very excited if you guys heard that in the background. I had some eggs today, over easy from Denny's. It was pretty
you went
bomb,
to
actually.
Denny's?
Yeah, I went to Denny's, met up with a buddy. Haven't seen him in a while, but best way to make eggs, poached eggs. Poached eggs on toast.
I'll be honest, I like them all, man. I don't care how you serve it to me, but for me, if I had to pick one, over easy.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm with Coob with the poached.
Poached is good too.
Because usually it's like with hollandaise sauce and sausage and stuff.
Egg salad sandal from Exposition.
Oof.
No? Hey, Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne coming up from 3 to 6. And then we have the Riverhawks kicking off their season today. And they'll be here on the station at 7.
Can't wait.
How crazy is that? We got to get to a game. I know we will. But tomorrow's the big day, folks. Oilers, Panthers, game 1. We're all over it here on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's going to be a fun day. We look forward to it. For now, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Relax, because the chaos starts tomorrow. For Coob, for Joaquin, I'm Salas saying enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Vamos. Ciao.